So you picked me up.
I didn't know what to do because you grappled and I'm just a grappler, so that was my natural reaction to just throw.
Hey, I'm Ed Pokropski, and this is Defend Yourself, the only show with hard hits and hard-hitting questions. And today I'm joined by comedian Nick Simmons.
How you doing?
Thanks for coming today, Nick.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So the first question I ask everyone is, do you have any fighting experience?
Just wrestled my whole life.
How do you keep up with it nowadays?
Not that much. I'm just getting into small t-shirts is the most I wrestle now.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's good. And you're a big guy. Do you do some like bodybuilding as well?
Yeah, that's most of it. Yeah, it's just for looks, though.
Just for looks. Well,
yeah.
it's working for you. It looks great.
Trying to sleep with me?
Yeah, well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes in the ring. When was the last time you got into a fight?
So 4 years ago.
4 years ago?
Yeah.
What happened? How did it go down?
So it started off, this guy, huge guy, he knew my uncle, and we were at this bar in the Bronx, and he saw me, and they knew each other for a long time, but he was kind of like a ball buster from a long time ago that he knew.
Okay.
And he looked at me and goes, hey, look, it's Ronnie from the Jersey Shore. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then he kept on talking shit throughout the whole night, and then him and my uncle had a scuffle, and I'm like, nah. And then me and him went at it, and I picked him up with a double leg takedown, walked with him, and then slammed him, and then he was finished.
He bit off more than he could chew, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's not often you get to use the wrestling out in the real world like
it's fun when I do, though.
Right. So if you could get anyone in the ring and challenge someone in the ring, who would it be and why?
I would love Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor, right?
Yeah,
That's good. Why Conor McGregor?
He just seems like someone who I'd like to just see what I could do against. I know I'd get my ass kicked, but I would love to see what I could do against him.
That's a good one. Okay, how about someone who has no experience whatsoever?
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
It's too much.
He has boxing experience.
He does? Oh, well now I think that's my answer now from now on.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I'd love to see what a Justin Bieber punch feels like.
That's a great answer, okay. All right, well, are you ready for round one?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if it'll be as good as the Biebs, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
All right, here we go, round one. All right, so Nick, that was round one. How'd you feel?
Good, tiring.
Yeah.
Really tiring.
Well, you have some good straight punches. Like you're not flying all over the place. Is that just like street fighting growing up?
Street fight, and my dad was a boxer when he was a kid.
Oh, he was?
And like when I learned how to fight, what happened was when I first moved from the Bronx to upstate, I was the new kid from the Bronx, and everybody wanted to fight me. I see. So my dad taught me like the bare minimum.
Right. So with comedy, what got you into comedy in the first place? I've
been a comedy fan since I was a kid. I remember watching George Carlin when I was like in 4th grade. Yeah. My cousin showed me his album, and I was like, I love this. Wait, can I curse?
Yeah, you can curse. Okay. Yeah, you can curse.
I never thought comedy would be an actual career. Right. Or a possible one. Until one day I decided to go to do an open mic. I did it at the Village Lantern, the Laughing Buddha. And the first time I got on stage, I was like, I love this. This is amazing. Yeah. And did you get laughs right away? Did you already feel like you had like a leaning? Some laughs were just because the way I looked and how nervous I was. So that was kind of funny, but like I still do jokes from that time that I've learned how to write better. Right. You know, like I still have those premises, and now I actually know how to like make them actually comedy written premises. Right. But they were good ideas, but I was getting laughs because people knew I had a good idea, but no one was like, oh, good punchline. Right. You know. What was one of the hardest rooms you ever, or weirdest rooms you ever had to perform in? LOL is always the weirdest. LOL, okay. Yeah, that was my first hard bomb too. So why, for people who don't know, why is LOL specifically a hard room? Because it's Times Square, so it's like a mix of every race, ethnicity. You have to learn how to make everybody of every area laugh. Yeah. And it's kind of hard to have material that makes everybody into it, you know? Yeah. You mentioned Twitch, so for people who don't know about Twitch, what is it and how have you started utilizing it as a comedian? Well, Twitch started off for video gamers, And then they built in a way for people like us, like comics, to do in real life stuff. So sometimes I'll stream my sets, I'll do improv by myself, working on different characters, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just me, they want to see people in their regular life. Just because like social media is so intrusive that they want to see more and more and more to the point where it's part of your everyday life.
Got it.
It gets pretty crazy, but it's fun that people actually want to watch me do weird stuff.
That is good, yeah. You could describe your comedy style. How would you describe your style or your approach to comedy?
People like seeing me take an L, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just because of the way I look. So I kind of use that to my advantage. So I have to I self-deprecate a lot.
Yeah.
Just because if I went up to like, oh, I fuck bitches, people are like, oh, this guy sucks.
Right.
But I actually, I show the vulnerability of my life. And because people don't see that, people think like the macho thing that like, you know, you don't ever show any weakness. But when you do, people like to see that because no one ever usually sees that.
Right. I know you do some like bodybuilding stuff and that's part of like your Instagram and Twitch. Is there a different persona that you take on for that that side of things when you're showing yourself like after working out?
Still vulnerable.
Still vulnerable. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
People want to see that side. They see enough of the people on Instagram that are like hashtag motivation, hashtag abs. You know, like that. Like they seem like they have nothing going wrong in their life when in reality, everyone has something going on. You know.
That's true. That's for sure. All right. Are you ready for round two?
Yes. Let me get a little bit of water.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Round two. So you picked me up.
I didn't know what to do because you grappled and I'm just a grappler, so that was my natural reaction to just throw.
It is not usual that I'm thrown off guard, but man, when he picked me up, I felt like the lightest I've ever felt in my whole life. Just, you mentioned on stage sometimes that you were like a chubby kid, you were overweight.
Yeah.
What was it? Was the turning point that made you lose weight or want to lose weight? Like how did it? Wrestling was it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I started off. I was a chubby. This is gonna sound weird. I was chubby, 4'11", 103 pounder when I got into high school.
Oh wow.
I was tiny.
Yeah.
And I was chubby, had little boobs.
Got it.
But wrestling, I went from that. I also grew at the same time, like 5'3", and I went up to 135, and I was lean. And I was like, oh, I kind of like looking like this.
Yeah.
You know, girls actually look at me, kind of.
Right.
Not exactly, because I was also a wrestler and a skateboarder.
Right.
But yeah, around wrestling was when I first started. Like, I was like, I'd rather look like this. You know.
Sure. Did a diet thing too? Did you have to start eating differently?
Well, because when I first started wrestling, I didn't know anything about diet.
Right.
So I'd starve myself the first couple of years, like in middle school, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. But once I learned how to diet the right way, then my life completely changed.
That's great.
People also think that it's gonna happen overnight.
Okay,
that's the biggest misconception.
Right. So it's not necessarily, right, it's not necessarily it's hard, it just will take some time and dedication to it.
It took me time to get big, you know? Like I've been lifting weights since I was a sophomore in high school. So people want to get that way by tomorrow, and it's not gonna happen. You just can't be, you just gotta keep on just looking in the mirror and just enjoying the process. Right. It's like comedy, you gotta enjoy the process. You suck at the beginning, but after some time you start seeing, oh, I'm actually getting pretty good at this, and you actually have fun. But you can't quit early, you know?
Right. Do you have a favorite movie quote, movie character?
Favorite movie character? I'd have to say Robert De Niro in Goodfellas.
Robert De Niro, Goodfellas.
Actually, scratch that. Joe Pesci in every movie.
Every movie, okay. What's one of your favorite spots to hit when you go home, when you go back to the Bronx?
I like going to Captain's Pizza.
Captain's Pizza?
Yeah, when I'm having a cheat day, Captain's Pizza.
Got it. What type of pizza do you give? Toppings? What do you do?
Just a plain.
Just plain slice?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so hard because people think because you come to New York it's going to be good pizza everywhere, and it is not at all. There's bad pizza. Probably worse pizza than most places in a lot of places.
Oh, because there's just so much.
When you have a good slice, you always have to go back and just get a regular slice.
All right, are you ready
round
for
three?
round three?
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up, round three. Nice job. Woo. All right, so round 3, how do you feel?
That was fun.
It was good.
Yeah.
Now I heard you've done this joke before, and I always think it's interesting. You say sometimes it's more acceptable for people to body shame someone that like you. Mm-hmm. So can you talk a little bit more about that? How you feel like you sort of even said it, like people sometimes when you go on the stage, the way you look obviously affects the crowd. So how do you explain all of that?
I just feel like bodybuilders are the one body type that, because I feel like every body type is a choice, no matter what. Like no matter what it is, you choose to look like that. So we choose to look like this, but this is the only body type where it's okay socially to just shit on as much as you want. Like there's, the Planet Fitness.
Sure, of course.
There's a picture of a bodybuilder with a cross through it, like cigarettes.
Right.
And it's just like, if that was any other body type, if there was a fat person with a cross through, like no fatties allowed in here, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But you see that and you're like, yeah, that's fine.
Right. And
it's the one place that we actually go to. Like if you had a sign with a no fat and you were at like a McDonald's, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, it's obviously a weird thing. And Planet Fitness, that's the one where they give you pizza in it, right?
They give you free pizza on Tuesdays, bagels on Mondays, and free Tootsie Rolls every day.
I mean, I feel like that is a more sinister business model to clearly keep going. But
it's clearly the way that they keep people coming.
Yeah.
And also sometimes the scales in there are set heaviver than they actually are.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you find that out?
From going from one, because I have more than one gym membership.
Oh, sure, okay, got it.
And I'll go from one, I'll gym hop sometimes.
Gym hop, okay.
No, but I've gone to that gym and then another gym later on, and one scale was 3 pounds heavier. The Planet Fitness scale was 3 pounds heavier.
Oh.
So people would see that and be like, oh, I gotta work harder, and come back, eat their pizza, get even heavier. They're like, what's that? I gotta get them more on the treadmill.
Wow,
people
we are
back.
Blowing the lid off of Planet Fitness here.
Oh, I'll take them down.
Bullshit.
I'm ready.
Yeah, all right.
Down with Planet Fitness.
Shit, okay. Well, that's good to know. All right, so this final wrapping up, what do you think of the whole experience?
This is fun.
It's good?
Maybe I gotta get back into do some cardio, and it makes me want to get back into, like, I want to wrestle more, grapple more, and keep my wind.
You don't do much cardio, but I would say you've lasted as long as most people do. So I think you're at a good base point. So
okay, good. Yeah.
And okay, so now if you have any projects you want to plug, you can do on this camera right here. Anything you got coming up, and where people can see you do stand up or something?
You can see me usually at New York Comedy Club, LOL in Times Square. Find me twitch.tv/Nick Simmons Comedy. And I do comedy on there. If you want to follow me at the gym, I give people tips and stuff like that, diet tips, and just me doing all types of things. So tune in. Yeah.
Nick Simmons, thank you so much for coming today. Thanks for being on Defend Yourself. We'll see you next time.
All right.